Hi, Cleveland Heights students. So I am back. Again, my name is Mrs. Wilson. I'm the media ancillary over here at Canterbury Elementary, and I want to show you a few tools you might want to use when you use the Sora reading app. The tools will help you find books easier or personalize your page and personalize how things look on your page, and it'll show you some tricks you might not know. Okay, so I have already logged into Clever. When you get into Sora, you just go right through Clever. It's brought me right here to my, I think this is the Explore page, actually. If I were to go down here at the bottom to my home page, let's see what it says. I have no assignments and I have no book loans. So there's nothing on my home page. So Explore is where we go mostly to find books. But before we go find books, there are several things on this page that are very helpful to you. So the first thing is over here on the left, it says Preferences. If we click this icon, there are some preferences that you can change. I believe these preferences stay until you change them, but it's possible you'll have to change them every time you log into Sora. But how do I want to search for books? I can have Sora search for all books, or if I want to find a book right now that I can check out right now, I'm going to tell it I only want it to search for available books. I don't want to know all the books they have in the system. I just want to know what I can check out at this moment. Okay, so I'm going to choose that. And I'm going to choose the format. You can, if you only want it to look for audiobooks, which is books where you listen, you can click that. If you really don't want audiobooks, you only want ebooks, which are books that you read the page or read it on your Chromebook, then you could choose that. If you don't care, leave it at any. I'm going to have it choose ebooks because there's some things I'm going to show you. So you can change languages. Those are the biggies. You must hit apply at the bottom of the screen. Otherwise, these two things will not take effect. So apply. When I hit apply, I see now that it says I have two preferences. I made two changes. So I know those took effect. Now, on the right-hand side, up here on this blue circle with the 3 lines, I'm going to click on that. This is stuff about your collection, kind of. So the first thing you can do, it says your nickname. So I can click on this, and I can click on my nickname, and I can make myself a nickname. Enter your nickname. I'm going to call myself George. George, just for fun. And I'm going to save that. Now I am called George. And you'll also notice on this, it tells me how many books I've opened, because I haven't used this yet, how much time I've read, and all this good stuff. Okay? These are the things you also find down here on this Me icon. This is the same stuff. I'm going to go back to my circle up here. Okay, now it says under libraries, now my name George shows up. It says under libraries, I am part of the Connect Shared Digital Collection. But guess what? I also have a library card with Cuyahoga County. And I might be able to add their ebooks and audiobooks into my system also, where I can research them and check them out. So I'm going to see if I can add a library. I'm going to click this little green icon, add a library. I'm going to go by zip code. 44118 is Cleveland Heights. And here we get a list of all kinds of schools and places in Cleveland Heights that use Sora. So I could connect to Cuyahoga County Public Library. You might also be able to connect to CleveNet, but I know that I can connect to Cuyahoga County. So I'm going to add that one right now. Now, If you see on my right-hand side of the page here, it now says I'm looking at the Cuyahoga County collection. I'm only looking at the Cuyahoga County Library collection. I'm no longer looking at the Connect collection. So they are two separate collections. You cannot see them both at the same time, but you can see them both from Sora. Okay? So that's how you, and let's say there's a couple steps here. Let's say I want to check out a book. And moms, dads, if you're looking at this, because I'm an adult, this is showing grown-up books. But because your kids are elementary students, the books that they are going to be shown will be limited to the juvenile and maybe young adult selection. But I think it's limited to the juvenile selection. So they will not be able to check out Danielle Steele. I am going to check out a book. Select my library, Cuyahoga County. Now, at this point, because right now I'm working with the Cuyahoga County Library, it's going to want my library card number and my PIN. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. So if you have a library card, like I said, you can attach it and borrow right away. Now, once I do this, if I knew my library card number, I would right now I would put it in and sign in. Once I do it one time, I will never have to sign in with my library card to the Cuyahoga County system again. It will be saved to my Sora account. Okay, so just so you know how to do that, I'm going to go back here to my three menus, and I want to show you something now. See where my libraries, I now have two libraries listed, and it tells me with this little green icon that right now I'm looking at the Cuyahoga County Library. I want to go back and look at the Connect collection. Okay, so now I'm at my Connect collection. Now I'm going back to this icon because there's more stuff up here. Click on that. On my general settings, you're mostly not going to change these. So I'm not even going to bother showing you this stuff. But if you are a student who is dyslexic, you have been diagnosed with dyslexia, one option for you is this dyslexic font. My guess is you've already seen it used in certain places. For those of you who don't know if you're dyslexic, then you're not. You would know if you were. But this font will help students who are dyslexic see the letters easier. If you're not dyslexic, I would not choose that font. The other thing you could choose is high contrast. I know there are some students who have trouble seeing different colors, and so this high contrast screen might be what you want to set yours at. I'm going to leave mine just normal, regular. All right. Go back. You can change hold settings and download settings. Are you going to want it to download every book, small books, no downloads? Right now it is set to download everything to your Sora account. No matter what device you're on, if you check the book out on your Chromebook and then 2 days later you're on your cell phone and you have the Sora app, your book will be right there because the account follows you, okay? It's not connected to your device. It's connected to your account. All right, so, and at the end of the day, when you are finished, you're gonna wanna sign out of Sora right there. All right, so that's it for this icon. If I click it again, it will close that. Now, there are 3 different ways you can search for books. The first way to search for books is simply if you know the title of a book. We're going to click up here, and let's say Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Oh, I can tell it to search all of my libraries. So that might connect my Cuyahoga County to my Connect library. I don't want options there. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, how come it's telling me to cancel? Give me a moment. Let me back up. So let's search for Mr. Putter and Tabby. Oh, here's the read-along books. Let's search for I Survived. There we go. Right, so I Survived books. It says there's no matches. Probably because they're all checked out. And I told it only to look for available books. So let us look for, how about Blended by Sharon Draper. Has any of you seen Blended? I'm going to hit enter. There we go. Blended. It's still not available. Available books. Search again. Oh, they're all checked out. How about Tristan Strong punches a hole in the sky. Enter. It's showing one ebook. So here we go. Tristan Strong punches a hole in the sky. Okay. So that is one place that I can search for a book. I type the title in and then I hit enter. And it will tell me, it'll show me the results. Okay. Now, let's say I don't know what I feel like reading right now. So I'm going to go back to this explore button on the top left. So I have two options for just browsing, like walking through the shelves of a library and browsing. One option is I can just scroll down. Okay. I can just scroll down and I get a list of like genres: juvenile fiction, fantasy, romance, picture books, mystery, science fiction, and explore all subjects. There's more subjects. Folklore, mythology, geography, holy cow, African American nonfiction. There's a whole bunch of subjects. Okay. The second way that I can just browse books is by going to this place called collections. And this has a bunch of different, it's almost like genres again, but it's things that librarians in this group have chosen. And they've said, ooh, I want to make a collection that looks like this. So in fact, I think you might see a collection called like Mrs. Wilson Recommends or something like that. I put a collection together and I think I posted it, but I'm not sure. Let's say explore strange new worlds. Oh, that looks interesting. Let's go there. And it's got 357 books there. So I'm going to click on explore strange worlds. It is still only going to show me available ebooks. Okay. And I need to change this so it only shows me audience juvenile. There we go. And I have to apply that. There we go. Ooh, the door at the end of the world. That looks really interesting right away. So I have a couple of options. The first option I'm going to show you is I'm just going to add this to a list. I don't think I want to check this book out right now, but let me add it to a list. I could add it to a wish list. Well, look at there. Click. And it tells me it is now on a wish list. Well, where is my wish list? Very quickly, I will show you, and I'll show you again later. Down here on your shelf, on lists, right here under your shelf, under lists, it now shows you this book. So it's like you get to make yourself a list of books that someday you want to read. And to get out of here, it looks, oh, I'm going to go back to explore. Now, this wish list, I can also create myself a whole different list. If I want like, ooh, cool series that I want to try, or books never to read again, I can create new lists. let's say I do want to borrow this book because it looks really interesting. So I'm going to click on borrow. And there it is. And down here it shows you that it's getting the whole book there. Okay. All right. So I've got the whole book here. And now what do I do? And it looks so funky. What the heck? If I take my mouse into the middle of the page and I just click, it moves those menus out of the way. And if I put it back in the middle of the page and I click again, those menus come back. So what the heck are these menus up here? Well, let me find a page first. Now, how do I turn pages? If you're on a Kindle or a tablet device, you can just do the swipe. If you're on your Chromebook, you have to just go to the right and click and click and click until we get to the first page. I'm going to go to chapter 1. See how these are highlighted? I can go to chapter 1. All right, now I'm going to go to this middle, click, and bring up these menus. This first menu just says, do you want the page to look with the words all the way across? Or click in the middle to bring up that menu, or would you like 2 columns? Personally, I like 2 columns, so I'm going to keep mine at 2 columns. I'm going to go to the middle, click up here again. The search thing says, let's say you are in a nonfiction book and you're doing research for a project for a class. Under the search thing, you can type in, I want to look for the word river. Hit that search icon. And look at this. It tells me in chapter 1, it has screwdriver because the word river ends screwdriver, river. So you probably won't use this with fiction books, but again, you may use this if you're doing a project with nonfiction books. So just know that that's there. Let's say you found a really cool passage and you want to share that passage with a friend. You want to be able to open the book and say, oh my gosh, I have to read this section to you. Listen to this. Go over to the top right and just click. And see this little black thing? It's a bookmark. Basically, you have bookmarked this page. So if I click to a new page, but I go back, that bookmark is still there. And when I click in the center and bring my menus down, I'm going to go to this menu, and I have bookmarks. And guess what? It says, on today, I made a bookmark. Chapter 1, page 20. Now, the cool thing is, these bookmarks will follow your account even after you close this book and return it. They stay with your account. So you'll know the things that you looked at. And if I click on this, it would take me right to the page with the bookmark. When I'm done with that bookmark, I can just click on it. It's gone. Okay? Quick and easy. Other things on this menu here. You can just jump to chapters. You can find your bookmarks. You can change some reading settings here also. So if you want your words to be bigger, or if you want your words to be smaller, you can drag this tool. Okay? If it's nighttime and you're getting ready for bed and you don't want that huge white glaring screen at you, you can change this to dark. And the white font is not a bright white font here. It's just a nice, quiet white that will maybe kind of help your eyes rest and your brain rest before going to bed. And again, there's high contrast, and there is what's called sepia. It looks a little bit pinkish when you compare it to that. Okay? You can change fonts. You can change what it looks like. So there's a legible font, a scholar font, a paperback font, an open dyslexic font. I stick with the publisher's default, just because. And you can customize fonts down here. I don't know that that will help you much at all, but it's there. All right. And tips and secrets, how to place a bookmark, and keyboard shortcuts. Okay, so there's some stuff there. All right. So I have checked out this book and I've read it for a while and I'm done for today. I'm going to close my book. I do not have to bookmark the page. It will, when I open it again, it will automatically open to the page where I was when I hit close. Okay? The bookmarks are just places where I want to go back to and remind myself of something. And look at this. I checked out a book. I get a badge. Okay. Yay. Now, I'm going to go down to my bookshelf. And right here, this is it's downloading right now into my account. And it shows you how far into the download it's gone. Now, if I go down to my shelf, I'm going to click on my shelf. I have a few things here. I have loans, I have holds, I have lists, and I have history. So let's go to the loans that I have. And it tells me, it brings me right to my book, The Door at the End of the World. And by the way, this thing here is the book that you're currently reading, and it will always be there. So anytime you need to find the book you're currently in the middle of, it's right there at the bottom of the page, that circle. So it shows me the book that I've checked out. I have some options with this book. If I had been reading this book for 12 days and I wasn't finished and I want to finish, but I'm afraid that my 14 days is going to be up and it's going to take the book away from me automatically, I want to renew this book so I can finish it. I have the option right here to renew. Now, it's too early for me to renew this book, but that option is there, okay? I'm ready to return this book. I finished it, and I'm going to return it. Before I return it, if I read it, and if I want to mark it as, if I want to put it on my shelf of books that I have read, mark it as done. Mark it as done. So I'm saying that I've read this book. I'm pretending right now that I've read this book. And I got a new badge. Yay! Oh, and I got a fiction badge. And I got a science fiction badge. Oh my gosh. And I got a high five because I earned 5 achievements. Holy cow. Okay, I just got a bunch of badges. Okay, so I have marked it as done, but I have not yet returned it. I still have to go hit return, and that will return it. Now, with ebooks, look at there, I got another badge. With ebooks, returns happen automatically. They will electronically be taken away from you. But if you finish it early, it's nice to go back and hit return because other kids are waiting for those books. So rather than sitting on it for 2 whole weeks and letting it return on its own, if you've read it for a day and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to finish this book, return it, okay? Be nice to other people and return it. All right. So I don't have any loans. I need to find a book. One last thing I think I want to show you is I'm going to change my preferences to show all books, all available, every book that's in this system, whether it's checked out now or available now, because I want to see what they have for Dogman. The Dogman, I think, is 2 words. And I hit enter, Dogman. Oh, there's actually one Dogman. Oh, you know what? I didn't see it still says available. I want everything. And then I have to scroll down and hit apply. Now it's showing me all the Dogman books they have. Awesome. I would like to read Fetch 22. Thank you very much. Or no, I don't want to read that one. I want to read Crime and Punishment. but it doesn't say I can borrow. It says I can place hold. So let me place it on hold. Okay. And it tells me right here, it's going to take me about 6 weeks. And if I click on that, it tells me even more about this waiting list. It says there are 83 people who are waiting for this book. I'm number 83. But there's 21 copies out there. So there's 83 people waiting for 21 copies. That means I'm really only waiting for 4 people to finish a book. So once 4 people finish one of the Dogman books, I ought to be able to have a copy. Okay? If that kind of makes sense. So it just tells you, but it tells me it's going to be about 6 weeks before it's available. Once the book becomes available, I don't know how that works because I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if you're going to get an email that says log into your Sora account because you have a book available. Or if you log into Sora one day and there will be, oh, yeah, I think there's like a notification somewhere up here that shows that you have a book available. I think that's how it works. Okay. If you have a book available and you're not ready to check it out yet, you can freeze the hold one time. And they will put you, you'll be like next in line for 2 weeks. And when your 2 weeks is up, then you'll get that copy. But you can only freeze it, the hold one time. Wow. I think that is pretty much everything. I hope you enjoy the heck out of all of this stuff. And yeah, read. See you guys later. It's good meeting you.